Hey, Power Profit Traders, Tom Gentile here. This week I want to talk about IPOs with the Lyft IPO. I want to try to remind you how we, as rules-based traders, try to not only rule in trades that have some technology and some history backed behind them, but how to rule out trades, including IPOs. You know, IPOs are back. So an IPO, for those of you that are brand new to this, is what's called initial public offering. That's where a private company goes public and sells off a portion of its company to the public to participate in what's called profit sharing. So that's where stocks all come from, is they come from initial public offerings and then move forward. The company is the original, let's call it short seller, if you will. They're the original seller that creates that flow, all right, that money flow that you and I trade off of. Now, IPOs typically trade higher than the set price. So an IPO is set, but then when it comes on for its first day of trading, it may and often does trade much higher off that first day. The winners are typically the ones who got the stock before it went public, and sometimes even way before it went public. So I want to show you what's happened in 2019, which is just the last couple months, and where these new stocks are. So if you take a look here, this is a group of about a dozen or so stocks where you can see the when they became public, how many millions of shares they offered, the offering price, and then what their first day close looks like. All right, their very first day close. It's a toss-up. Some of these are much, much higher. All right, you take a look at Levi Strauss. Well, that was offered at $17 a share, and at the end of the day, it closed at $22.41. So that was a nice pop. Take a look at Shockwave Medical. IPO'd at $17, but it closed that day, the IPO day, at $30.50. All right, so it was up nearly 100% on day one. But most of these, down 3, down 26, down 8, down 12, down 32, down 1.5, down 16. And so, you know, the big question is, where were they, a month or two later? So you look at Levi Strauss. Yes, if you got it before the IPO, you got the pop. But look what's happened since then. Really not much at all. All right. And then, it just kind of goes from there. Up FinTech really hasn't moved that much higher. Okay. Take a look at Shockwave. Yeah, that had that 100% move that closed above 30, but right now it's trading at 33. So it's up maybe about another 10% since it IPO'd. But then you look at Callidio Bioscience, down. All right. Super League Gaming, down. All right. Roth Therapeutics, down off the IPO. And I'm not talking about the IPO that people got in before the market's open. I'm talking about day one when all the hype and hysteria was going on. All right? Here's Avedro, basically flat. All right? Harpoon Therapeutics. People who bought this on IPO day, yeah, they got harpooned. And the list just goes on and on and on with IPOs that dropped off. And I want to show you Lyft, because Lyft IPO'd last week. And look at this. This is day 2. All right. Now remember, it IPO'd at 72. It closed. It went as high as $86 a share. And all of a sudden, come Monday morning, it actually dropped below 70 before rebounding slightly. So what's the moral to my story here? Well, at Power Profit Trades, we try to look at 3 rules of trading: spotting the opportunity, creating the low-risk trade, and then and only then planning, executing, and managing that trade. You cannot do this with IPOs. IPOs go into the area of risk unless you plan on buying the stock and holding it for years. This is not a trader's game, all right? There's not enough evidence, there's not enough data to support a rules-based trader going in and doing something in IPOs. If anything, if you want to take an aggressive stance on IPOs, you short them as soon as you can, because that's where the money's made, but even that can be risky. So spotting the opportunity, it's really a toss-up between what goes up and what goes down. All right, creating a low-risk trade, you can't. You can't do it because options, for the most part, do not trade on the majority of IPOs right out of the gate. And so, therefore, there's no way to mitigate your risk or create that low-risk strategy. So because of that, we cannot plan, we cannot execute, we cannot manage, and I will not trade. All right? That's my video for you for the week. All right, guys, have a great week. I will hope to see a lot of you at the Black Diamond Conference that's happening at the end of this week. If you're there, great. Look forward to seeing you. If you're not, I'll see you next week on our next video. Bye now.